Kingdom of a postdoctoral field. So he was head at NA Computer Center of about 3 years upon the arrival of India in 1998. He worked as professor of MCA and head of the Department of Information Technology at Avana Engineering College, Tirunelveli for 3 years from 1999 to 2002. He joined as head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in 2002 at VIT University, Vellore. Since 2005, he has worked as the director of TAFAC core in automotive informatics centers for about 16 years. Currently, he is working as a chairperson of VIT Business School, which has recently got an aggregated AACSB grade. He has published more than 80 national and international journals, conference and papers. So this is the important point. So he is first PhD student who got the best PhD thesis of the country, awarded in 2012. He has conducted nearly more than 375 training programs for the students, faculty, startups in edge technology areas such as embedded system, sensor, IoT, mobile computing, big data analytics, image and signal processing, cryptography and deep learning, machine learning and artificial intelligence, etc. So he has completed 25 consultancy projects from the industry. He has written 2 books. He has visiting nearly 15 countries, which has include USA, UK, Ireland, France, Germany, Denmark, Spain, Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, Malaysia, Singapore, etc. So recently, the visiting various US universities. So he visited many leading industries, which including Google, Apple, Microsoft, Intel, etc. So thank you, sir. So welcome. Thank you very much.
Move over to Dr. Ganesan for the second session. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I want you louder. Fine. So, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Ganesan sir for giving me an opportunity to come and talk to you some interesting topic. Right? If you want to get a job or any industry now, the most important topic which people talk is something called data science. So even in data science, what happens is, if you are studying in computer science, it's not going to be a rocket science. It's going to be very, very easy. But what is going to happen is, a lot of industries you might have seen that asking for people who are good in data science. Among the data science, one of the important topic is something called intelligence, and why this business intelligence is very important is, now a lot of business that is using not the manual process, but rather some automation, wherein people want to visualize things, understand things, basically suggestions, recommendations. When you buy like books in Flipkart or Amazon, etc., when you look at it, you see that automatically when you buy something, all the relevant items which you may thought of buying critical. In most of the time it is good, and sometimes it is it is irrelevant and so on. So how is it happening? Because people gather a lot of data from you at every second, and you might have seen that when you go to some jewelry shop or some restaurant, the moment you come out, you are getting a message. Thanks for visiting this restaurant. Did you call Google fellow and told I'm going to this hotel or this theater? No. So what is happening is, thanks to your mobile phone, what happens is, Google is sitting in San Francisco, and whatever you are doing it in Maniambadi or your college, They are all, tracking every minute, every second. And hence, what happens is tons of information is being, collected. And then, what is happening is I have to make some sense out of it. That is where you are going to see something called statistics is going to come. So typically, statistics is a branch of, mathematics. What it does is, it is doing some sort of, summarization. For example, if I want to know how good, maybe you have two sections, right, in each year of BCA or BSc. If I want to know how good you are, there is no point in asking each one of you what is your percentage, etc. because each one will say some number. At the end of the day, I may not really know whether this batch of students are really good or average or bad. So all I need is only one number. What is the class average? If I take all your marks or CGPA, whatever you have, and then if I find the average of it or mean of it, and then with that single number I can tell how good you are at an average, right? So that is why statistics is playing very, very important. Based on the statistics now, people are making a lot of predictions. Because whenever you make predictions, people always will love it. Whether it is poll or even cricket match, you see that even before IPL, they do a lot of analysis. Most of these analyses are done based on what is called your business intelligence tools. In fact, just now one of my students who is working in cricket.com, so he called me and told, sir, I'm going for abroad, and then I want to pursue my masters in data science. So he graduated in 2018. I asked, what are you doing in the last 4 years? He said, after completing my BTech at EIT, I joined in a company in Hyderabad, which was basically a startup company. And there they have built a mobile playing game, basically a cricket game. So there are Dream 11 kind of tools are there where you can download and then you can play cricket and so on. So he started doing it. Then he collected a lot of data. From the data he found how do you make these more customer engaged. So that means more people download the application, immediately a lot of advertisements will come to you and you will make money. So he was thinking, how do I monetize my game so that more and more downloads will happen. Just like nowadays you see that when I go to Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, any social media, your content is going to be, you post any picture or anything, it may be even a crazy picture, but the more likes you get, people immediately say that you are great and so on. So the moment if you are talking of even in the sports you get, and then after that in 2020, then he was appointed as junior data analyst with the Delhi Capitals, and he had an interaction with Ricky Ponting, who was as a head coach. So he was working for along with him. So they were telling a lot of technology goes and data goes in sports. So currently he is saying I'm doing with cricket.com, where we will make a lot of predictions. People want to see like online code, instant code, and people who made exact prediction, they want to honor them, give awards, rewards, and so on and so forth. And the problem is, you know that if you go to Cargill, the open source data set center, and if you type IPN data, you will get from the year 2008 to 20, for 12 years, you will get tons of data. Now the problem is what I am going to do. So the moment you say that it's going to be a match between CSK and KKR, all these informations are filtered out and then kept ready. And then who is going to bat first or who is going to go. So it takes a complete information and provides on the dashboard. So if I am a commentator, then I will see what is the data. So gone are the days where I will ask or somebody will dig the papers and so on and so forth. And then also it is going to make a prediction. It will be the kind of environmental condition. They take the data from the climate and then the pitch condition or pitch report, all those information, past record, I mean, who has played against whom, what was their average score, all these, whether you play as an opener or come in the death over, and all these, whether you play first or second, day-night match or day match, all those details are collected, and based on that they want to make a prediction that who will win, and each player how much they will score and so on. Because this strategy they say is very important. The batsman next to who is sitting, he wants to get win. Suppose the statistics says, prediction says that he will play all 20 overs, the next bowler may be relax. Whereas if he says he may get out within 2-3 overs or with the stiff target that you have with this opponent, then the next below wants to prepare himself. Lot of psychological, behavioral, mental and challenges are there. And that's what he said he has been doing now, cricket.com and so on. So now you take any sports or any business is all now going towards data. And all our businesses are now slowly moving into e-businesses. Right? Now you see that, and also we get a lot of chain stores are there. Like you take more supermarket, or you take most of the jewelry shops, like the GRB, like Joya, because you see all this, why shops, even education institutions are becoming now chain. You take VAT, we have got 4 campuses across the country. So that means when we have the same management, but we have multiple operation centers are there. How do I efficiently manage them? Again, a huge amount of data which is live and real time is needed. Because for example, if you take like a shop like GRT, if you want to set up one shop, you may need to spend at least 100 crore. Right? That's the minimum they are talking about. And so, because you need to have variety. If you take even bangle, right, for ladies, for every bangle there may be size 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, 2.8, and then with stone, without stone, and then when you talk to stone, whether it is red color stone or blue color stone, whether you say red color stone, whether big stone or small stone, all permutation combinations are there. So I cannot make, you take only one bangle which is one of the items owned by our ladies, and that itself if you have so much of variance are there, and that each bangle weighs roughly golden bangles weighs about 15-20 grams. If I have for one model, if I keep so many varieties, and then each is going to cost me lakhs of rupees, my investment is huge. And then with that investment, if somebody is not buying, and then it is lying aside, all my money is lost. So now what people are doing is they want to optimize it, right? And when I say optimize, they will spend less but earn more, right? So they want to keep only with the data. They see that in which place where you are, and what is their buying capacity. So this is what we normally call these as markets. In fact, last month for my MBA students, I connected with some 30 companies which are located in Vellore, and then I asked the student, and we will go and do a market study. For example, you will be surprised that the companies like Darling Electronics, they have got 52 outlets in Tamil Nadu. In fact, most of you may be thinking that they are opening in different places at different times, thinking that there are good businesses out there. But you will be surprised. Can you guess in which town they have got maximum profit, maximum sales and profit? Can anyone guess? Chennai. Yeah. Obviously, we think Chennai. But the maximum profit, I was told is at Kallakurichi. Right? Kallakurichi is not a big town at all. It is not even a district headquarters, not a city. It is somewhere between, Vidupuram and, like Alur or somewhere. So they are telling, we were shocked to see that when we set up the maximum revenue and profit we get among the 52, hotels, or maybe not hotels, maybe the electronic shops. So that means, how do they get it? Because they tried only by trial and error. They just went and somebody told, oh, why don't you open? Like that only we are doing. But now currently what people are doing is to gather a lot of information and using statistics you analyze, and from that you can make some predictions. And based on that, if you set it up, you will do it. Now, most of these businesses, what they are doing in India is they do only the law of averages, like our, you see, like a share market. So sometimes 10 people may go in the morning time and each will pay 10 rupees from point X to Y dropping. So I get 100 rupees. And then maybe at 11 o'clock he will even fly to 1 crore. He may give only 10 rupees. So if you ask me, for covering the distance, is it 10 rupees is sufficient? Definitely. It's all law of averages. But then, the law of averages is fine. Only you make more trips. So that means you have to work hard. Because he is not using any intelligence or smartness and so on and so forth. So now what businesses are doing is, you collect a lot of data. And then first you track the people and collect a lot of data. From that data you make some intelligent predictions. Based on the predictions, if you start a business, your business will not do that. I don't know how many of you are aware that what is the importance of data nowadays is, most of you like Swiggy, right? And recently, a few months before, right, what Swiggy did was, they wanted to find, because, they have got all the data. What are you buying? Where are you buying? When are you buying? How much you are buying? All this data is there. So they took a case study of Bangalore, and then they have fixed between 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, right? What is a major item people are looking? And then from that data they found that there are 5 important items. They found number 1 was biryani, second was like noodles, third was some curd rice, something like they heard of 5. And then they have gone into the details. Where are they buying? Like if you are in a place like in a college, so at what distance you are buying? Are you buying it in 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers? And which shop you are buying? And in that shop, what is the weight and what is the item price of it? So then they realize that there are a lot of people, they are buying biryanis whose cost is around 250 rupees and the weight is around 250 grams. So immediately he started a chain shop, or what we call cloud kitchen, which is called Bowl. Now he has started 42 centers in entire stretch of Bangalore. And then all these fellows, they are running their business in a 10 cross 10 room. Basically, you cook, because only 5 items are there. So these 5 items, mostly they are all rice based. So they were cooking with only 2-3 people with some gas stove in a small place they were cooking. And then they were giving a discount of 20% what the other customers. If I am buying like Sangeeta, if he is charging 250 rupees, I am giving 200 rupees if you buy food. That most of us, when you want to even order in Swiggy, the first thing we will look at is there any offer today? Is there any discount today? So then we will look at, and then if there is some item is there, we are going to buy. So how do we, so basically now, that Swiggy is a platform business. He all started when you want to get some item from some place, you make an online order through your mobile, and then they will go and collect and deliver, for which a nominal charge they were collecting from the shop. This is how they started. But now they are not restaurant. Now they started 42 sectors, and then all these are now network. Now from this, they are seeing among the 42 which is doing well, and can I make an expansion? Can I add more items, etc. So everyone, we want to see that we want to make a successful business in a short time, make more profit. That is why we are interested. But then, without data, we ask somebody, what do you feel and so on. They may say something, but we are not sure that when you start, many of the startup companies that we discuss, we say the same problem. We are simply talking to people and find out, what is their interest. Based on that recommendation, if you go, you will not do it. So if you want your business to be successful, what you should do is, you have to go to a lot of people, and then geographically different location, at a different age group, at different time, different gender, right? All you need to collect, and then use some statistical technique, and then you do some ranking algorithm, and then you find out which is the best and so on. So if you go, this is the scientific way of getting into the market. So once you do it, you will be successful. So as I said, some of my students, they went and some companies now they are doing something called portable, called a dental kit. We are building in our university. Some students they are doing it. So this company said, now during pandemic, a lot of people, they don't go to the dentist, either, especially old people, right? They are not traveling because of, COVID and so on. And also, even when you go and if the doctor handle in the clinic, which is, it is not properly, sanitized, they felt that they may get some infection and so on. So a lot of people, they were not doing it. So the task we have given was, can you go to the, customer and find out, will they be interested to, use this kind of, service, because it's a new business, nobody else is doing. So they went, and then you need to see that where is the market. So first you need to use some brain and also collect the data. You normally, that when you are, college students like you, your teeth is, very strong, right? Unless otherwise you eat a lot of chocolates and so on, you are not going to have most of the time any issues. The people who are, more than 50 years, 60 years are the ones who have got kidney issues. So now we need to find which age group we have a problem, and then where these people are living. Can I go to, some gated community where they are, elderly people are there. So I need to look at the population. If I say if I want to set up this facility in Vanian body, I need to know that which area of the Vanian body where I have more aged people are there. And then once if I go there, then I need to know what kind of problems they have. Do they want to, implant a new teeth, or they want to remove a teeth, or they want to clean their teeth? Again, various issues are there. So you need to collect the data and find out among these which is, very, very predominant. Suppose if say you talk to 100 people and only one fellow said, I want to have a, implant. And finally, this company has created a kit which is weighing 90 kilograms. So when they want to take, especially if the dentist is a female doctor, then, they were not able to. So they want to appoint somebody. And that fellow was asking, give me 800 rupees per day. Wherever I go, you need to give him food and so on and so forth. So then, this company said it has become a flop. Now we have built, and then, the doctors are not accepting and so on. So that's why, we said, go to the market. So then we said that it is not that, implant is very important, but rather cleaning or maybe, filling and removal of teeth. These three are most important. So then, we come and, told the company. And then they said, if you want to do only these three, I don't need all this equipment. So I can remove. Now they are coming out with a 40 kilo, kind of luggage bag. With a trolley you can pull and she can carry it and so on. And in fact, then they also asked, what is the amount you will be interested? Will you be interested to come out to home and, do service for you and so on. So maybe we thought that everybody will like it. And to our surprise, we found that many of them, they are not. They were telling, no, here when tooth problem comes once in a while, maybe once in 2 years, 3 years. I don't want to go to some doctor whom I don't know. I will go to only my, doctor who is referred by my friend or parent or my neighbor and so on and so forth. So what is the assumption you have is something different. Only when you get the data and look at and analyze, then you will get a lot of interesting stuff. Maybe I will give a small PPT presentations. Then we will proceed because I'm going to talk on some. For example, the Power BI is a tool, right? Which is BI stands for Business Intelligence, and it's a tool. Maybe if you do a Google search, you will see that Power BI. If you type, you will get a hit of 37.5 crore websites. So that means you can imagine how much of popularity it has. And in fact, most of the things which you want to look at or understand, it is all only click of a button. No coding is required. But then you need to have an understanding of what is this data is for. Right? So is it going to be yes or no, or 0 or 1, or it is going to be an integer, or it is going to be a fraction number, and which data I need to plot against what, how do I infer some information out of it. That's where we normally call it as the domain knowledge. So if you want to work in a particular area, like my student when he wants to work on applying data on sports, like especially cricket, he should know what about cricket. How many players are there, what is bowling, when I say over, how many balls are there, in a ball what is the maximum run I can take. All these are basic information. So without knowing that, we just download some file and click something, and then if you plot, it's going to be a junky junk code. So normally, when you create, this kind of, tools, you need to have something called a domain key. So if you have a domain knowledge, then, you can use this tool, and it's not a rocket science. If a BCA or a BSc student, if he is so good in this tool, you will get, easily, 6 to 7 lakhs of starting salary, right? Without any issues in, big analytics company. But what they look at is, if you are looking at the finance data, you should know the fundamentals of finance. What is, debit, what is credit, all these, stock, all these, you should know. Or if you are talking cricket, you should know about cricket. If you are talking of medicine, if you are talking of hospital, you should know all those jargons and so on. And what kind of data I will collect, how I will collect, and when I will collect. Then, you will decide how to analyze it and so on. Right? So, can I correct it?
Let me. Blue photo. லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணி உள்ள லைட் ஆஃப் பண்ணி ரெண்டு பட்டன் ஆன் பண்ணி ஆஃப் பண்ணி
So, now what I'm going to talk is no mathematics, nothing. And for you is only common sense. The fellow who is even +2 and understanding with simple English, but who wants to learn things, they can learn. In fact, whatever I have presented or I am going to present, I have been preparing by sitting and learning through YouTube for the last month. So there is nothing, there are so much of information is there, but all you need to do is focus yourself and then right. So why data science is going to be very, very important. So if you look at, as I mentioned, large amounts of data are collected and people want to mine. Just like when you say a mine, in a typical gold mine, there will be only soil and then we will dig and then apply some process and get finally, when I complete this process, I will get the gold over there. Maybe I will take 1 ton of sand, but after processing I may get only 20 grams of gold and so on. So what is the essence output that you want is very less, but what is the input given may be very high. So that's why we call this. Here also when you have huge amount of data, to start with we may not know what I want to do, how I want to proceed and so on. So simply collect this data, then you use what we call data mining technique. And the purpose of this data mining technique is I have to make some sensible outputs of it. And you will be very surprised. Few years before in US, what they did was they collected a lot of car accident details. And then suddenly the insurance fellow said that if you buy a red color car, you have to pay more insurance. So when they used with a huge amount of data, they found that some crazy reason that there are more accidents for red color cars. So they said, okay, these fellows are making claim, so let me increase my premium and so on. So later on they went and then they asked some data scientists and then who referred it to a psychiatrist. And then the psychiatrist doctor was telling, look gentlemen, there is nothing crazy in it, because the people who like red color are always aggressive people, by and large, right? So if a driver is liking, or somebody who is driving a car, I came by car, if I like red color means, you can assume that I am by nature an aggressive person. So if I am an aggressive person, what is going to happen? The chances of me making accident is more. When the chances of making accident is more, I will be making a claim, which is a loss for the insurance. So after this data mining technique, what the insurance company, even now in US, if you want to buy a car which is red in color, you have to pay more. If you use other colors, you will pay less. So when I got first time, it was very crazy. But then when I read in the textbook, they were telling it is all the huge amount of data that they have taken, and they applied some mining algorithms. At the end, the essence gave the red color cars are more prone for accidents. Right? So, and again, the second thing is automation has changed business and how we are dealing. So in recent times, you see that a lot of automations are happening, and because of this automation, what happens is plenty of information is available, data is available, right? Now you may be noticing sometime back, like the RFID tags were installed in the cars and vehicles. So when I was coming from Vellore to your college, I went through the toll gate. So the moment I crossed the toll gate, I am getting an SMS saying that 95 rupees has been detected and so on. So now with this database, I can come to know that where are you going and how much distance you are traveling and how many times you are traveling and so on. You may be shocked to see that the government of India is getting per day 300 crores through toll gate tea collection. Maybe about 5 years before, nobody knows all this toll gate wala, how much he is collecting and so on. Now the government has got all the data that's it. And is the traffic in Katpadi to Vaniambadi is increased or decreased? Shall I add one more lane? Because all these politicians, what they do is, because they have a tender wala who is another politician, they will get a huge margin. So they may be simply announcing that I want to add one more lane and so on. But scientifically, can you say that is there any need? So in that case, I need a data. I need to know how many vehicles are going. When I say vehicle, is it a bus or lorry? Because if it is a lorry, what is going to happen? It is going to carry a lot of load. As the load increases, the road may damage. And then I can even come to a conclusion how many vehicles have gone, how frequently they have gone, and based on that data, if I know whether it is lorry or car or bus, and based on the data, I can decide this road will get damaged in 3 years or 5 years, 2 years or 1 year and so on. So in fact, when you go to US, when I was in US in few years before, there were no toll gates and then there were only RFID tags. You will get a message, you are crossing the zone and you have to pay this much of toll. That's all I did. And interestingly, they have a system where if you are traveling in a car alone, right? So there is a camera which is watching how many people are there in the car. One front camera and rear camera, and it finds how many people are traveling. If more than 2 people are traveling, the toll is less. If you are traveling alone, your toll is more, because they want to see that to reduce your the fuel usage. Now we are importing and then the dollar price is increasing, etc. So how come they come out whether like it's 1 number, 2 number, 3 number? Because again with the data they don't know. If you have 2 people or at least traveling, and you can reduce this much of discount, so that I will not get any loss. So I'm encouraging people to share their rating. That's where the sharing of rates, etc. All these apps are like Robido, Rapido, etc. You are talking. So these concepts have come because of the data they have. So they were able to fix what should be the critical number at which, if I say that I'm going to give you a discount, then you will still get a profit. Or you want to increase your profit without, you cannot keep trying. You say something and then after 1 year you say I have a loss, then it is off. So when you do an automation, what happens is you get a lot of. So getting easiest way for getting a lot of data is do automation. For example, nowadays you see that you are seeing online shops like Meesho, etc. You are seeing social networking like WhatsApp, YouTube, etc. you have, and then automated tellers like ATM machines, cash withdrawal. I will also come to know that from the ATM machine